Hey there, my name is Louie Delgado and welcome to the Startup Report. So I've been a tech entrepreneur for the past 7 years, where I experienced all the ups and downs that come with the job. I don't think it would come off as a surprise that running a startup is hard as f***. It's something that has been best described as a roller coaster inside another roller coaster, and you think you're about to have a nervous breakdown at any point. For that reason, I have a tremendous amount of respect for my fellow entrepreneurs. In tech, you could have the privilege of meeting outstanding individuals that are committed to making people's lives better. But also, it's an industry that has too many weird-ass habits, posers, and troubling actions that will make you believe you're in the Twilight Zone. Is that reference way too old? Maybe I should use the Mugatu meme or something? Is that too old as well? This is a space where I'm going to talk about those annoying habits and ridiculous behavior that became common to the tech industry. Basically, complain and make fun of the startup world because, let's be honest, we deserve to be called on our own shit. And to do that, I don't need an anonymous app. Today on the Startup Report, I want to talk about that moment when startups founders become assholes. Or if you may, Silicon Vasshole, Dickpreneur, Douchepreneur. We should honestly organize a summit to decide on a name for this. That is when things are starting to look good for an entrepreneur and they just become the biggest prick you've ever met. They become this monster hybrid between the attitude of the Blazarian, minus the money, the guns, the girls, and the followers, and the feeling of superiority of that cartoon guy that is always on the cover of the New Yorker. Fun note, the New Yorker cover character's name is Eustace Stilley. That is a name that screams, this is 1925, and I'm so much better than you f***ing peasant lowlife. And even if they haven't had actual success yet, they want to be seen as role models. And for some weird reason, they think it's their birthright to get invited as keynote speakers in TED Talks. And they get pretty offended when they don't hear back from TED. TED, the organization, not the guy from How I Met Your Mother. Transforming into a douchepreneur could happen when they get featured in TechCrunch as a promising startup, or some angel investor puts a few dollars in their seed round. Both things are great progress, but it doesn't actually mean that they officially made it. It's like those people who download the app Headspace and suddenly they're more enlightened than the Dalai Lama. A few years ago, there was this guy I know who got featured in Mashable and it went directly to his head. I once texted him, hey, I was hoping we could grab coffee whenever it's convenient for you. And before I could send a follow-up message to that, he responded, no, I don't have that much time. This sounds irrelevant to me. Boom, just like that. He treated my text as if it was a LinkedIn connection request. He didn't even consider to ask why I was reaching out. And guess what? It was because I wanted to introduce him to an investor. You should never treat people like that, ever. Unless they're inviting you to something stupid like a Fish concert. But karma sometimes works. After he found out I was close to this investor, he texted, hey, smiley face, would it be possible for you to put me in contact with Mr. Moneybags? Obviously, the name of the investor is not Mr. Moneybags. It was actually Scrooge McDuck. Needless to say, I didn't reply to that message, although I fantasized of all the different ways I could have replied. And of course, his startup failed not long after that. Seriously, it seems that the only cure to being so douchey while running a startup is they eventually crash and burn. They forget that startups require real hard work to take off, and all that nonsense doesn't actually do much for their ventures. But before they become a Silicon Vasshole, there are some early signs, some red flags to warn you about them. They sign off emails and newsletters with the phrase Carpe Diem. They keep insisting their startup makes the world a better place. They try to force the word disrupt into every single comment they make. They compare themselves to Albert Einstein, Jesus, or even worse, Steve Jobs. They write nonsense Medium articles like what Transformers The Last Night teaches us about running a startup. They use the word hustle more than 3 times in a single conversation. The point is that you need to keep yourself in check to make sure you don't become that person. The tech world is full of assholes. The fact that you can be one doesn't mean you should. So stay humble, focus on the work, and keep moving forward. And don't make a big deal out of it on Instagram. That's it for today. If you have been guilty of this before, well, now you know. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Let me know in the comments below if I missed any habits of a douchepreneur, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Okay, we're done filming, right? Okay, take a picture so I could put it on Instagram.